Here is a crazy fact. Almost every one of us studied English for years at school, yet most people still can't speak fluently. Isn't that insane? 2 decades of grammar drills, exercises, homework, vocabulary lists. It's not your fault, but you were taught the wrong way. In today's video, I'm going to show you the only method that actually works. And the good news? It's free. If you've ever felt stuck, even after years of study, this video will connect the dots and show you the path to real fluency. And at the end of this video, I'll share with you my 5-step plan to get you fluent starting today. Hi guys, thank you so much for being here. My name is Veronica, I am from Poland, and welcome back to my channel, Wanna Speak by Veronique. Here we learn to learn languages the fun way. And let's be honest, school made us believe that grammar was the key. Memorize the rules, pass the test, and one day you will be magically fluent. But if that worked, everyone who spent years in class would speak English easily. And they don't. Because here's the truth. Grammar rules, drills, homework, memorizing 200 words a day don't make you fluent. It makes you good at passing the tests. But speaking fluently, that comes from something totally different. Are you ready? The magic method is called comprehensible input, first introduced by Stephen Krashen. In plain English, comprehensible input means being exposed to English you mostly understand, but with a little bit that's new. You can think about it as going to the gym. When you go to the gym and you lift 2 heavy weights, you're gonna quit. You simply can't lift these weights. It's too difficult. When you go to the gym and you lift 2 light weights, you won't see any result. You won't see any change. It's gonna be too easy. And now, when you lift just the right weights, this is where the real progress happens. This is where you grow. This is where you learn the most. This is where you found the sweet spot. When it's not too easy, when it's not too difficult, it's just right. With language learning, it works exactly the same way. When you are exposed to content, when your input, everything that you put in your head, is too easy, you're gonna get bored. Oh my God, I understand everything. When it's too difficult, when you listen to a podcast or you read a book that's too difficult, you don't understand anything, you're gonna get frustrated. You're gonna be like, oh my God, I can't put up with this anymore. But when the video you watch is slightly above your level, it's a bit challenging, but you get the main point. You can make sense out of it. This is your go-to. This is where you learn. Your brain is a pattern detector. It doesn't need grammar rules. It just needs examples. It needs context. Grammar rules serve you no purpose when you can't use them. But when you listen to content, you mostly understand. When you understand the message, your brain naturally picks up the grammar and vocabulary in the background. Guys, most probably you know the story, but this is how I learned Spanish. I never memorized any Spanish grammar rules. Estuve hablando español en mi otro video, quizás lo puedes ver aquí. Ahora no voy a hablar tanto español porque este video es en inglés. How did I do it? Naturally, simply exposing myself to a lot of Spanish content that was slightly above my level. I learned Spanish as kids do. Think about kids. Think about young children. They don't study grammar books. They just listen, they understand, and they repeat until it's automatic. This is actually called the language acquisition. It's not studying the language, it's acquiring the language. And it's exactly the same for us adults. Obviously, our brains don't work exactly the same as kids' brains, but we can still learn a language so naturally, so effortlessly, having fun. And now, don't get me wrong, I'm not saying that learning a language is totally effortless, but we can make it pleasant, and we can make it less effortless than by using these traditional methods and textbooks. Here the science credit goes to the linguist Dr. Stephen Krashen, who found this wonderful method, comprehensible input, in 1980s. His research showed that people acquire language when they get input they understand, with just a little extra challenge. He called this little step the +1. What I already know, +1, plus a little bit more, plus a little bit of a challenge. Let me quickly clarify that input is everything that you put in your head. Meaning what we listen to, what we read, what we hear in general in our environment. Research shows that fluency comes from understanding first and speaking later. Input builds your internal library of words and structures. When your brain is ready, it uses them automatically. But guys, I like to combine these two things together. I like to connect input with output. So I believe we can expose ourselves to this language, we can read a lot, and at the same time, we can try to speak and use this knowledge immediately. Because from my experience, when we just listen to a language and we don't produce anything, there is this psychological blockade that pops up. We simply become afraid of speaking this language because we know too much. So my favorite method is to use comprehensible input and at the same time maybe shadow native speakers, meaning repeat after native speakers, and try to form your own sentences as soon as possible. I hope you get my point. We don't want to go to any extreme because without input, there is nothing for your brain to grab onto in real time. We need a lot of input to have this context, to discover this natural language, to discover slang words. Memorizing 50 words a day serves you no purpose. Until you meet them in real context, they won't stick. To bring it down to earth, let me share with you this daily life check. So when you listen to English or you read something in English and you need to pause every few seconds to translate, it means it's too heavy, too difficult for you right now. If you get bored or you don't learn anything new, this is too light, too easy. And when you follow the story, you can make sense of it. This is the sweet spot we are looking for. But keep in mind that learning a language is a process. It's not going to happen overnight. I know we all want a quick fix, but it doesn't work this way. It's just like going to the gym. It takes time. You grow by lifting the right weight consistently, day after day. Okay, guys, finally, we're going to go to a 5-step plan you can follow to start getting fluent today. Step number 1, pick your input wisely. Choose content that you actually like, something that you are really interested in. It can be content on YouTube, social media, Spotify. You can listen to a podcast. I love podcasts. You can watch something on Netflix, HBO, Disney Plus, you name it. Choose something you like. Step number 2, stay in that sweet spot. Choose something that you understand in 70-80%. Step number 3, notice and repeat. When a phrase pops up again and again, pause, say it out loud, and let it sink in. This is actually called the shadowing technique. You basically repeat after native speakers until you get it. Step number 4, consistency beats intensity. 10 minutes a day of fun English is better than 2 hours once a week. Step number 5, the most important one, start using it. After enough input, speaking will come naturally to some people, but to some, it won't. So don't judge yourself if you're gonna struggle with speaking. This is totally normal. It happened to me, it happened to all of my clients, it happened to many people around the world. So don't judge yourself. Remember, consistency is what matters. The biggest breakthrough and the mindset shift. We need to stop thinking that fluency comes from studying harder. This is BS. Fluency comes from surrounding yourself with this language while enjoying it, having fun in your daily life. Okay, guys, we're gonna wrap this video up here. I'm reading your comments. You know that I love to chat with you there. Again, my name is Veronica, and I hope to see you in my next one. Take care. And happy learning!